Hi guys, it's Danny from Art by Marlene's promo team for 2019. Today I wanted to show you how I made some art dolls using the Frida stamp set by Art by Marlene. I was inspired by my friend Kerry, hi Kerry if you're watching, by her beautiful art space, and whilst I was gaping at her art space I noticed that she had these gorgeous little art dolls that she had made. They were made out of collage papers and little stickers and things, and they were just so quirky and fun that I had to make my own little version. So of course I'm a bit of a Frida freak. Anyone that knows me knows how much of a Frida freak I am. So of course I had to use Art by Marlene stamp set to make my own little art doll. So here I've stamped out the Frida heads onto the Art by Marlene watercolour papers. I've used archival ink and I'm using the Bold and Bright watercolour set and the Whimsey and Bright. I'm just using the skin tone and using the In the Navy for the shadows, and I'm just going to paint in all the little details, so all the flower colours and the blush and the lips, all that sort of stuff. I'm using a fairly fine paintbrush to get into all those little details, and I'm just having fun with the bold bright colours out of the watercolour sets. Just painting in all those fine little details. Just putting some more shadows in here, darkening up Frida's skin tone and popping in a bit of blush. So I've used the Art by Marlene watercolour paper again, and I've lightly drawn out some hands, some arms and some palettes. I've drawn them out with pencil and then I've just gone back over with a permanent fine liner pen. Here I'm just painting a paintbrush. These are going to be little accessories for Frida to hold. Just rubbing out the grey lead lines, and then I'm going to paint these with the watercolours again, just in the skin tones, and obviously the palettes will be wood. So again, just enjoying the process, painting them out with the watercolour paints. Splattering a bit of paint here. Again, I've drawn out some torsos and dress and little vests, just loosely drawn them out onto chipboard, and I'm using the Art by Marlene collage papers. I'm just going to cover those pieces of chipboard out. I'm loosely fussy cutting them, and I'm using some collage glue to stick those collage papers down. So these are the little vests that I've drawn up, and again just gluing down collage paper to decorate the clothing. So it's a bit like paper doll from your childhood. I really enjoyed this little process. And I'm just giving them a layer of the collage glue and setting them aside to dry. So these are just the basic skirt shapes that I've drawn out onto chipboard, and again just covering them in collage paper. And of course little boots. So I'm painting these with acrylic black paint, and I'm doing them on both sides because I intend to cover both sides of the chipboard when the doll is put together. So just painting those up. And then I'm going to fussy cut all these little watercoloured arms and heads and things out. Off camera I also inked around the edges of the clothing with some archival ink, and I've used sandpaper just to sand the collage paper down so that everything is nicely cut up onto the onto the chipboard. So I'm just fussy cutting all these little elements out, and I'm going to stick them through the laminator and laminate all my pieces together, just so I've got a bit more protection on the cardstock and so that my art doll will last a little bit longer. I'll be able to wipe it down when it gets dusty, etc. So I'm just watercolouring the opposite side, the blank side of all the arms, and I'll do that with the palette and stuff as well. This is just so that the back end of the doll will actually have some colour and hide some of the mechanics as well. Give it a finished look basically. Just doing a little bit of hand doodling on the vest. Again, just using a permanent fine marker. And these are all the products now that I've laminated off camera, and I will fussy cut them all out again. Just leaving a little edge of laminated around so that they don't come apart. And this will just give it a bit more protection when I'm putting it together, and of course when it's stored in my art space. So I'm just using a piercing tool here and a bit of a sponge to pierce the pieces together. I'm using small brads to pop the head to the torso and then the torso to the dress. This was a lot of fun. It brought back a lot of childhood memories of paper dolls. And I want those arms to be movable, so popping a little brad in on the elbow, and then I'll arrange them onto the torso as well. So of course I have a lot of trouble making one of anything, so I actually thought, now that I've got these Fridas, that I might give one of these away. So if you'd like to win one of my Frida dolls, please leave a comment at the end of the video and share the video, and at the end of the month I will draw someone out, and a lucky winner I'll post out one of my Frida dolls. One of the other dolls has already been claimed by my daughter. I think I'm rubbing off on her. She's become a bit of a Frida freak as well. So I'm using double-sided tape here to just stick down the rest of the elements, so her little vest over the top. And I've popped a little bit of double-sided tape down on the boots so that I can stick them in underneath the dress. How cute is she looking? Just gluing in the little paintbrush, and I'll arrange the palette on the other hand, cutting a little thumb hole. And again, I'll just glue that down. So I've just used a little bit of lace from my stash to make a little shawl, and I've just glued that around the shoulders, and I'll use a little bit of trim on the bottom of the skirt. This is where you could go crazy with some rhinestones and all sorts of things. My daughter made these tiny little necklaces for them. She really got into the spirit of it, and my eyesight's not fantastic, so she threaded those up for me. And now I'm just going to use some bamboo skewers. So I've painted them half black. They're the ones that are going to be where it's partially visible. And I'm just going to masking tape those down. Using a longer one right up the middle of the torso just to give it a bit of strength. And then I've cut out some more collage paper to fit the skirt and the torso. And I'm just going to cover those skewers up, hide all the mechanics from the back end. And I've just stuck them down directly. I haven't bothered to laminate them or anything. And then a bit more collage glue over the top. So I've got some little pine pieces that were cut up for me, and I'm just using some collage glue. I'm going to cover them, wrap them up in the collage paper. These are going to become the bases to hold the art dolls up. So just wrapping it up like a little present basically. Of course, I'll set that aside to dry. Once it's dry, I can work out how to set up the doll onto the block. Just giving it another coat of collage glue. So I'm just measuring out where Frida's little skewers are standing out, and I'm going to drill a couple little holes in my block. She's quite tall, so a lot of this was done off camera, I apologise. Just going to stick some wood glue into the little holes and then stick the skewers into the holes. And that's basically it. My art doll is now finished. Just wiping off a bit of excess glue there. How sweet did they come up? I was really happy with them. And as I said, if you'd like to win one of these, please like and share and comment at the end of the video, and I'll post one out to a lucky winner at the end of the month. Thanks for watching.